My name is Jason. I'm originally from the States, from the US, and I've been involved in this work for about 10 years. So we've actually worked together at the Temple of the Way of Light, and that's where originally I met Jose. I haven't worked with Jose so much, but I've worked a lot with his family, with his mother his mother Ines, and his sisters Laura and Leela, especially Leela. I've done a lot of work with Leela. So this work has become a significant part of my life over the last 10 years, and so one of the things I've done is facilitate workshops at the Temple of the Way of Light, and I've started to do this work to some degree on my own now, and it had actually been a while since I've done a Shipibo Dieta, and I think for a lot of reasons, a lot of things culminated to bring me here to jump back into the process of dieting, doing more work on myself personally, and taking that time to actually do that. It's been a long time of doing a lot of work with and for others, and so it felt quite special to have this time to be with myself. I think these processes are always quite personal in a way, so I think to some degree talking about the personal experience maybe isn't the most useful, because it can maybe set certain expectations for what's to arise, but certainly the things that I came to work on were very much addressed, and I think one of the really interesting things for me is often these plants. I think a lot of times when we think about plant medicine, we actually think more about the physical healing, which is why most of us take any sort of medicine, is because there's something physically going on. But I think one of the really interesting things about these plants, which I think is also why they're becoming so popular, is they work not only on the physical, but also on this level of the mental, emotional, even that word psychedelic, which carries its own baggage in a way, but it very much means that the mind made manifest, the mind made revealed. And then also in this level of spirit, which I think for many of us, it's something that we've become disconnected to, and so to have the opportunity to work on all three of those levels is for me really special. One of the things I had forgotten about was actually the physical level, and so actually really taking medicines to help me, I think, release a lot of the things that I had began to take on doing this work. So that was very powerful, just the physical effects of ayahuasca, of the plants that we diet, and the amazing ability that they have to cleanse us, to kind of take on these things that we're holding on to, that I'm holding on to, and really purge those, release those. Very much on that level of the mind, really beginning to continue to go deep into seeing the nature of my own mind, the fears, the doubts, the places where it's not in alignment, and really being able to see that very clearly. And then that level of spirit, which is for me always there's something of an awe in working with these plants, of what they can bring out, and just that almost like a remembering, being in awe of the innate power of this universe, which I'm often familiar with, but I often forget as well. And this was a very beautiful reminder of that. It's a beautiful experience. I think, as was said in the beginning, I think places like this are as close as maybe we're going to get now to that very traditional process of, without fully being on your own in the jungle doing this work by yourself, but really recreating that environment, actually being here in a jungle, in isolation, in our own little huts, our own little tombos, being able to actually go to the trees or the plants that we're working with to actually connect with those in a physical and an energetic way, I think is really special. And really being able to experience what these traditions offer, which is more than just taking a plant. There's a lot that goes into it. The history, the lineage of these traditions, all the wisdom that they bring, all of the knowledge of countless years, generations of experience, of being able to work with individual plants that are catered to people's needs. From the things to the flower baths, the plant baths, to vapor baths, to individual treatments, and then the kind of the bulk of the work, which is coming in the ceremonial space, and it's difficult work, and it takes a lot of dedication, and I myself, and I think everyone here, felt very cared for, and it was there was never really a day where we were not being worked on in some way, and that skill is it's something I think that it comes from the heart, and it also really comes from, again, these generations of being passed down, and it's something that's invaluable. It's really a gift that we all have access to through a place like this. For me, I take from this, I think, a real reconnection to the magic of these plants, to the magic of this work. I think, like anything we do, any practice, whether it's brushing our teeth or going to bed, taking a shower, these are things that are very healing. And I know for myself, sometimes I can get very focused on working and sometimes forget about that self-care in a way. And like any practice, it's I think it's vital that we continue to do it. And this doesn't have to be our work, whether it's just being a human being. It's going in from time to time and really cleaning ourselves, clearing ourselves, beginning to concentrate, beginning to focus, beginning to see where we're holding on, beginning to see what's out of alignment, beginning to see what we need to work on. And it's a real learning experience. It's I think there's this Greek word gnosis, which I think is very powerful, which means to know, but it's not a knowing that comes from the mind or that we can read in a book. And there's amazing things we can read in a book. We can get a lot from a book, but there's something different about going into an experience that really tests us also beyond the mind. And I think that's where real growth can come from, and a real deeper knowledge of who we are and where we're going, and having the opportunity to be in a place like this and diet, I think is a real gift. So if anyone has that desire, then it's really a gift that you're giving yourself. Shipibo Rao is, the first word that comes to mind is beautiful. Beautiful people, beautiful environment, and truly beautiful work that's being done.